You flip over every package at the grocery store hunting for product of Canada. So be honest, when's the last time you checked the label on your ETFs? Because odds are your portfolio is quietly stuffed with American funds. And unlike groceries, the Canadian version here is actually cheaper. This is VFV versus VOO. Buying the American one can quietly cost you about 1.5% every single time your money crosses the border. And stick around, because I'll show you the one account where American supposedly wins and why it usually still loses. Quick confession, I bought the American versions for years because every finance video I ever watched was American. Nobody told me there was a Canadian aisle. And the fund I actually own today, it's neither of these two. Hold that thought. First, the punchline. VFV and VOO are the exact same S&P 500, same 500 companies. VFV is just Vanguard's Canadian listed wrapper. It literally holds the American fund under the hood, priced in loonies. Reason one to go Canadian, the currency fee. VOO trades in US dollars, so your brokerage converts your money, roughly 1.5% going in and again coming out. VFV trades in loonies, conversion fee, 0. Yes, there's a workaround called Norbert's Gambit, a whole currency gymnastics routine to dodge that fee, or you just buy the fund that never leaves Canadian dollars in the first place. I know which one my lazy self picks. Reason two is honestly the grocery store logic. Two products I want, similar price, one's Canadian, I'll take the Canadian one. It supports our economy, which supports our country. Why not? But here's the part almost nobody says out loud. And it completely changed what buying Canadian means for your investments. Canadian listed does not mean Canadian companies. VFV still holds 500 American companies. The Canadian part is the label and the currency, not what's inside the box. If you want actual Canadian companies, that's a totally different fund. Different video. Today's move is simpler. Whatever exposure you want, buy the Canadian listed version of it. Now, one honest exception, because someone in the comments will bring it up, the famous RRSP tax trick for going American. And this is where the math genuinely surprised me. In an RRSP, the US waives its 15% tax on American dividends, but only if you hold the US listed fund, VOO, directly. The Canadian one, VFV, doesn't get that break. Sounds like a point for going American until you do the math. That tax break is worth about 0.2% a year, 15% of the S&P's roughly 1.3% dividend. But to grab that break, you pay the currency conversion, call it 3% round trip. So you're paying a one-time 3% to save 0.2% a year. That only comes out ahead if you buy once and don't touch it for well over a decade. For how real people actually invest. Rebalancing, maybe needing the money, definitely not doing currency gymnastics. That conversion cost quietly eats the tax break. So even in an RRSP, for most people, the Canadian version still wins. The honest caveat, a true decades-long buy and holder who converts cheaply can edge ahead with VOO. Okay, full honesty time, the thing I told you to hold. I don't buy VFV or VOO. I hold VGRO. One ticket, the whole world, not just 500 American companies. But check the label on it. VGRO is Canadian listed and trades in loonies. It's the exact same move, skip the border toll, just with a bigger basket. The lesson was never buy VFV. It's buy the Canadian listed version of whatever you choose. So here's where I've landed. Same fund, no border toll, and the one famous exception rarely pays for real humans. For most Canadians, in most accounts, check the label and buy the Canadian listed version. Now I'm curious, what's actually in your account, the Canadian listed version or the American one? Drop the ticker in the comments, I want to see the split. If VGRO made your ears perk up, my one fund whole world video is next. And subscribe, because I check the labels so you don't have to. Not financial advice, just the math.